Question number 53. He gave us the density of the fluid and the speed of the first pipe and the radius of the first pipe, the pressure, the radius of the second pipe. He wants to know the speed of the second pipe, the speed of flow. We will not use the density or the pressure because we will use this rule. A1 times V1 is simply equal to A2 times V2. We can calculate A1 from the radius of the first pipe and A2 from the radius of the second pipe, and he gave us in the givens V1, which is 6 meters per second. So let us start with calculating A1. A1 is simply equal to the basic rule which we all know, by r square, 3.14 times, let us convert it from centimeter to meter in the radius. It will not make any change because the radius of the second pipe is in centimeter or so, but to make it more easy, we will convert it to make you understand this. 0.5 over 100 power 2. So A1 is 7.85 times 10 power negative 5 meter square. After this, A2, the same rule, by r square, 3.14 times 1.5. So we will convert it from centimeter to meter. 1.5 over 100. All of this power 2. So A2 is simply 7.065 times 10 power negative 4 meter power 2. And V1 in the givens is 6 meter per second. V1 is equal to 6 meter per second. So after this, we will substitute in this rule. A1, which we just calculate, is 7.85 times 10 power negative 5, and V2 6. All of this is equal to A2 7.065 times 10 power negative 4 times V2. So simply V2, after solve this equation manually or by using the calculator anyway, you will find V2 is equal to 0.67 meter per second. So the answer is C. Question number 54. He gave us the flow rate, which is the volume flow rate because the unit is centimeter cube per second, and he gave us the radius. From the radius we can calculate the area, and he wants to know the speed. The volume flow rate is equal to the area times the velocity. If you don't know where this rule came from, I will leave a video in the description box for organic chemistry tutor. I recommend you to see it, or you can see the previous video, which is part 8. I explained this there. The volume flow rate is 990. The area, we don't know the area, so let us calculate the area. A is equal to by r square, 3.14 times 1 power 2, so the result is simply 3.14 meter square. So the volume flow rate, which is 90, is equal to the area, which is 3.14 times the velocity. So the speed or the velocity is equal to, after solve this, you will find the velocity is equal to 29 meter per second. Question 55. This question has a lot of steps, but believe me, it's very easy. We will just use the Bernoulli's equation. So let's start. Please concentrate with me. Let me change the color. Okay. Bernoulli's equation, I will write it very simple. P1, which is a pressure, plus a half the density times density times the power 2 plus the density GH simply equal to this is V1, this is H1. V2 plus half V2 power 2 plus VGH2. Okay, we want to know V2. Here's V2. What we will do, we will move this part and this part to the second side. So we will have that half the density times V2 power 2 simply equal to P1 P1 plus all of this equation, we will write it another time, plus half plus minus this part and this part, P2 minus rho H2. We will rearrange this because there's a big reason. You will know it now. Now I will just rearrange. I will not do anything else. P1 minus P2. I move this here to make it here, plus half rho V1 power 2 this part plus rho h1 minus rho gh2. He said in the question, the pressure remains unchanged. That means P1 is simply equal to P2, so P1 and P2 cancel. So, how I will write it step by step. I recommend you to speed up this video. P1 and P2 cancel, so we will have half V1 power 2 plus rho G. Okay. After this, we will take the density as a common factor. Let's take rho as a common factor. Great. After taking rho as a common factor, we will take G as a common factor here. Okay, good. We will multiply all of these, or divide all this equation over half rho v over half rho. So just we will divide this side over half rho and this side over half rho. Half rho or over half rho is 1, so the first side will be v2 power 2 equal to rho over half rho will be equal to 2. Okay, here we have the rule for for v2, so we will substitute in this rule. I'll substitute here. 2 times 1 half times v1 he gave us in the question, and the given v1 is 15, so it's half power 2 plus 9.8 times the BIP the pipe goes up the second floor of the building 3 meter high. That means H2 minus H1 is 3. That means H1 minus H2 is negative 3. Again, H2 minus H1 is 3 because of this. That means H1 minus H2 will be negative 3. Okay, after solving this equation, so here we have v2 power 2. Let me write it. v2 power 2 is equal to this. After solving this equation manually or by using the calculator, you will find that um, v2 is simply equal to 12.89, which approximately is equal to 13 meter per second. So the answer is A. This question is very easy. I just wrote the step by step to make it clear, but I can abbreviate all of the steps in 2 or 3 steps. Question number 56. In this question, we will use the same rule, which we conclude here. This rule. Let me rewrite it. v2 power 2 is simply equal to half v1 power 2. You can multiply 2 in all the sides, and you can't, as you like, plus g h1 minus h2. Okay, let us substitute in this rule to find v2 power 2 simply equal to v1 power 2. He gave us the givens. v1 is simply equal 10 plus the gravity, which is 9.8. He said in the question, the pipe goes up the second floor of the building 2 meter higher. That means H2 minus H1 is 2 meter, and H1 minus H2 is negative 2, like the previous question. After solve this manually or by using the calculator, you will find that V2 is simply equal to 7.8 meter per second. But he don't want to know V2. He wanted to know the radius of the second pipe. That means we will calculate the area of the second pipe. So we will use the quantity equation. A2 times A1 V1 is equal to A2 let us start with calculating A1. A1 is simply equal to pi r square, which is 3.14 times 0.03 power 2. So A1 is simply equal to 2.826 times 10 power negative 3 meter square. This is A2. So we calculate A2, and we have V1, um, and we just calculate V2. So we have V2 and V1 and A1. We wanted to know A1. A1, we wanted to know V2. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We wanted to know A2. We have A1, V1 in the givens, and we just calculate V2, and we wanted to know A2. Okay. A1 is 2.826 times 10 power negative 3 times V1, which is 10 in the givens. All these is equal to A2 we want to calculate times V2, which we just calculated, which is 7.8. After solving this manually or by using the calculator, you will find that A2 is simply equal to 3.62 times 10 power negative 3 meter square. A2 is equal to pi r square, which is 3.14 times r power 2. So this is equal to this. So after solving this, you will find that or you can divide 3.4 over this side and take the square root. You will find that r is simply equal to 0.034 meter. So the answer is B.